This is Wake Up and Lead, a daily podcast where ambitious young professionals learn to lead themselves. I'm your host, Hampton Dortch. Today, we're talking about family and a toxic mindset to have that will affect you and your family or your loved ones or the people you live with, or your spouse or your child, whatever that means for you. I know family can be pretty broad for us as young professionals. That's probably the broadest one. But I've been very convicted of this as I have been thinking about this episode. It's been something I've been thinking about in my own life a lot. So often I think that I'm only truly living on Friday and Saturday. And so like Sunday night through Thursday night, I love my life and I love my job, but so often it's like, how do I get to bed as early as possible? How do I have everything prepared for tomorrow so that I can absolutely crush the day? And then I'm still thinking about work. I'm thinking about things going on. And while so many of the things I talk about on this podcast, like being prepared for the next day, your morning starting the night before, having routines, having habits, being productive, that can end up affecting your family. And so I am really trying to do a better job of like turning off work and saying, hey, I've done enough. I've done everything I could today. Now let me come home and enjoy time with my daughter and my wife and my community group at church. And the lie is that, oh, well, I can enjoy the time with them on the weekend because then I'm not thinking as much about work in that time. And if you think about it, most of your life isn't the weekend. And so that would really stink, especially I'm thinking about this from like a parenting standpoint. If your kid just knew that like you're not going to be very fun or enjoyable to be around until maybe it's the weekend. And that can also affect your marriage a lot. It can affect like the vibe of your home. And I think so often people are just like living for the weekend. And sometimes I can fall into that too. And it doesn't mean that I don't like my life or I don't like my job, but it's not a great place to be. One of the things that I've been trying to do is when I get off of 280, which is like the highway that I take to get home, I'm only like 8 to 10 minutes from my office. But when I exit, I've got like 2 minutes until I get to my house. If I'm listening to a podcast or something like that, I turn it off and I just either sit in silence or I pray and I say, God, help me to prepare and to effectively lead in my most important job, which is being a husband and father. And I cannot do that without God because I'm selfish and I think about myself and I'm thinking about the next day and I'm thinking about work and I'm thinking about closing deals and I'm thinking about a workout plan. Because so often I'm always just thinking about how I can like fight dragons outside of work. And then my family, they get my seconds. And that's no way to live. And so I heard this quote once that said like, don't let your bad work day turn into your family's bad night. And golly, doesn't it stink when you live with someone or your spouse comes home, and often this is me, something bad happens at work. And of course you want to be in a comfortable place where you can like share that with your loved ones, with the people that you live with. But at the same time, if you just come in and suck the energy out of the room and be an energy vampire because you had a bad day and you do that consistently, then like you're going to stink to live with. And so don't let your bad day or stressful day become your family's bad or stressful evening. You are living on Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. That is life. That is so much of what life is. And I've been convicted that I'm only feeling like I'm living on like Friday night and Saturday night when I don't like have work the next day, or I've decided that I'm going to like intentionally rest or something like that. So just a mindset shift, a toxic mindset that sometimes we have where we're only living on the weekend. That's something that we definitely want to avoid. I'm talking to myself here just as much as you. So it's time for you and me to wake up and lead.